Hello, everyone. My name is Jazmine Thomas with SimpliWell. I am your nutrition consultant, and our health nugget today is on mushrooms and unveiling their hidden health benefits. So let's go ahead and get started and learn a little bit more about these wonderful, amazing foods. By the way, these are actually these are one of my favorite foods. I love having them in anything that I can, on my pizzas, on my pastas, even as the main source of a sandwich. It just really brings my plate to life. So I really love them, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you all the amazing benefits that these mushrooms have. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so first of all, we need to answer the question, what is a mushroom? Well, something that some of you may know is that they are a fungus. And they also reproduce through spores, and they reproduce in grasslands, forests, and decaying logs, things like that. You may have seen them while on hikes and walks, and they come in many different colors, and it's actually really cool seeing them. But you do want to be careful because not all of them are edible. So please, the next time that you go on a hike or a walk, please don't forage them on your own. Make sure that you know what you're doing, or you have an expert with you before you do forage in the forest, because of the fact that it can be very dangerous and it can really get you sick. So although we're mentioning mushrooms today, we're only going to be focusing, of course, on the edible ones for our health, and just be safe. Rather be safe than sorry, and get them from your local grocery store. All right, so one of the cool facts about them is they are considered the elixir of life in Chinese culture. And the reason why is because they're known to be used for amazing physical and mental benefits for your health, to help it with many different ailments. So if this is what they call them, then I think it's something that we should definitely pay attention to for our diets. And speaking of our diets, they're low in calorie, they're high in protein, and some of them are even very high in fiber. And you're going to see why in a second as we go through these different mushrooms. All right, so here's a fun fact. Out of about 14,000 different mushrooms, 2,000 of them are actually edible that we can eat. I know that's a lot, and I don't expect you to be finding all of these mushrooms. So we're actually going to just be focusing on the ones that are the most popular, that are kind of the stars of the show, I would say, and that are known for just having just very powerful benefits to them. So here we go. All right, so our first list right here are portobellos. And if you didn't know this before, portobellos actually they grow in different stages, and each stage they are given a different name. So those large, meaty portobellos that maybe you've seen in a veggie burger, or sliced up on your salads and things like that, those are considered the more mature stage, the mature stage of the portobello, or the adult. And then the baby portobellos are considered the creminis, and then in between you have your flats and your white buttons. And I just thought that was a really cool fact to know. So creminis are considered portobellos. They are just the babies of them all. All right, so here you have morels, oysters, chanterelles, and by the way, please forgive me if I am not saying these correctly. We have enoki, porcini, shiitake, beech, maitake, truffle, which are very rare. You do not find them a lot, hence why sometimes that they're so expensive when you go to restaurants. You have lobster, black trumpets, and then lion's mane, chaga, reishi, and cordyceps. These last four I've seen a lot, and they are really great for your mental well-being. And yeah, we're going to talk about them a little bit more here. So as I'm going through these mushrooms, all mushrooms have various different benefits to them. What I'm going to do here is I'm just sharing with you some of the benefits that they're known best for. So for example, your portobello mushrooms, they are anti-inflammatory and antioxidants. So antioxidants are found not just in your blueberries and strawberries and different fruits, they're also found in mushrooms, surprisingly enough. And for those who don't understand antioxidants, antioxidants are helpful for fighting against oxidative stress that is in your body. And oxidative stress leads to inflammation, which is how we actually get a lot of the diseases that are known in our world today. So when you see something that has antioxidants, definitely want to hold on to those when you want to prevent diseases. All right, so next we have our morel mushrooms. These are high in iron and vitamin D. And then your oyster mushrooms, these reduce blood pressure. And I have seen people do some really great stuff with these. You can even cook them up to put them in your sandwiches. They're just so delicious. And then you have your king oyster mushrooms, which these are the ones that, as you could tell, they're very meaty. They have a thicker stem to them. They're high in fiber and antiviral. I've seen people shred these up with a fork to create kind of like a shredded meat look, maybe in tacos. And I've also seen people use them for burgers. So they're just really excellent mushrooms. I really like these ones. All right, you have chanterelle mushrooms. Maybe this is something you haven't heard of before. These ones are good for having healthier eyes, healthier vision. So then we have enoki mushrooms, which are good for weight loss. And then porcini mushrooms, these are great for inflammation and also good for protein. Shiitake mushrooms, they're great for your digestive health and really just overall well-being. Shiitakes I see a lot you might see them a lot when you go to maybe an Asian restaurant of some sort. And they're also great for putting in your ramen and things like that. So love these ones. All right, beast mushrooms, these are anti-parasitic. I was very shocked to see that. I thought that was very interesting. Maitake, great for inflammation, great for your heart, high in vitamin B. And then those rare truffle mushrooms. These one you really have to forage for. They're very rare, hence why they're so expensive sometimes. And why when you go to restaurants, if you see truffle mushrooms, they only give you those really tiny slices. Yeah, that explains it all. So these are great, great for protein and also antioxidants as well. You have lobster mushrooms. These are good for your immunity and for your gut health. When you have a healthy gut, you have a healthy body. And when you have a healthy gut, you also have a healthy mind. And we're going to talk about a little bit more of that later on too. All right, we have our black trumpet mushrooms, which are high in vitamin B12. That should say B12, sorry about that. And great for your skin. And then we have the lion's mane. Oh, these ones are really fun. Also, they're really fun looking. Do you see that? They almost look like they belong under the ocean or something. But they're great for your brain health and cognitive function. You might have seen these in teas and things like that. Also, lion's mane, because they're so big and juicy, they can be used for like as an alternative of meat for veggie burgers and things like that. So I love these ones. All right, chaga mushroom, antioxidant and immune health. Reishi, great for your immunity and vitality. And then you have cordyceps mushrooms, which maybe you don't see a lot in the stores, but they're great for stress, energy, and endurance. And then lastly, we have our turkey tail mushrooms, which are great for mental clarity and focus. Reishi, cordyceps, lion's mane, and chaga. These are the 4 mushrooms that you'll see a lot of times in teas or like a coffee alternative of some sort. No, don't worry, these teas do not taste like mushrooms, but they do have a really deep flavor, which is why they're great for coffee alternatives. And I highly recommend these drinks. I absolutely love them. All right, so as I said before, these mushrooms, there's no limits to them. There's a lot of amazing benefits to each and every one of them. We just kind of covered the most popular ones that they're known for. But overall across the board, mushrooms are known to be a great source of vitamin B12 and vitamin C. As you know, when you are transitioning to be vegetarian or actually specifically plant-based, vitamin B12 is something that is very important to focus on. And I truly believe that when you find the right food sources, you can be sufficient in that vitamin. So mushrooms, you can't leave them out. They're really excellent for vitamin B12. And surprisingly enough, they also have vitamin C. So it's more than just your oranges and apples. Sorry, they're also found in your mushrooms. And as I said before, they're great as a meat substitute and coffee substitute. Like I said, they just really elevate your plate, just to add some substance to it. So they're really great stuff. They decrease cancer risks. They're great for your brain health, as we talked before. And when you have they also improve your gut health. I just can't emphasize this enough. When you have a healthy gut, you're able to improve your digestion, and your hormones are balanced, which means that you also have a better mood. So if you want to have a better mood, then eat your mushrooms. All right, they improve your immune system overall. And the reason why is because they have these certain elements to them, these certain vitamins, one of them being selenium. So this one, it makes antioxidant enzymes to protect from cell damage. And the mushrooms that are known to have a good amount of selenium is like your cremini and portobello. They are also great in vitamin D. And something that's great to know is that when you're sick or before you get sick, it's really great to build up, pair up your vitamin D and zinc together. So if you're looking for a great source to increase the vitamin D in your system, mushrooms are a great way to go. Vitamin D reduces inflammation, assists with cell growth, and boosts your immune system. And then last one that they're known to have to help with your immune system is vitamin B6. So this helps your body form proteins, red blood cells, and DNA. And the mushroom that is known to have a high level of this is shiitake. So shiitakes are just amazing powerhouses. All right, so that's all I have for you today. That is your health nugget on mushrooms. I hope you enjoy. Your challenge for today is to find a mushroom that maybe you haven't eaten a lot of or you haven't tried before, and find a recipe that incorporates that mushroom to try something new. That's the only way that we can really enjoy our food, is when we're able to branch out and try all these different recipes and uses for them. So bon appetit, my friends, and stay well.